My child, do not close this. This is a message from heaven. Archangel Michael and God themselves are speaking to you now. Before we begin, if this reaches your heart, stay with it. This channel brings words that touch the soul. If you're new here, subscribe quietly with your spirit. Stay until the end, and your life will remember this moment. You will feel a tremor when you read this. That tremor is not fear, it is recognition, because someone fell in love with you deeply, purely, even across an age difference. And heaven wants you to hear why this matters. Listen, love does not always obey the world's rules. Sometimes God plants a soul in another's life, and time says, this is odd. But heaven smiles and says, this is right. Archangel Michael says, do not let society's whispers drown what God planted in the heart. You felt it before you could name it. A sudden warmth, a persistent thought, a face that appears in quiet moments. You tried to ignore it because the world taught you to weigh everything by rules, but your soul weighed it differently. That is the sound of destiny knocking. This person crossed a line others refused to cross. They loved you when it was inconvenient, when judgment could follow, when faces turned away. That kind of love is rare, raw, brave, and holy. God whispers, when someone loves you like that, they are carrying a piece of heaven's courage. Do not mistake challenges for signs to run. When the world raises flags and the mind builds walls, your spirit remembers what your heart already knew. Some loves are tests, some are gifts. Archangel Michael says, discern, but do not throw away a miracle because it does not look like the world expected. You may hear whispers. It's the age. Think practically, what will people say? Those voices are loud because they are fearful. But God asks you, what does your soul say? Not the mind that calculates, but the inner voice that recognizes truth without proof. This person loved you despite the age gap because their spirit saw your essence. Age is a number, but soul meeting soul is timeless. Michael says, the heavens pay no heed to calendars when two hearts are aligned by destiny. Some will call it risky, some will call it wrong, but heaven calls it sacred risk when it wakes you up, heals old wounds, or brings a blessing you could not find alone. Remember, some doors must open from the inside, not because others approve, but because God approves. If you feel guilt, breathe. Guilt is often the enemy's weapon to keep you small. Your heart's truth will not thrive inside guilt. Michael leans close and says, release the shame they try to give you. Let God cleanse what was never yours to carry. You may worry about family, reputation, the future. These are human fears, but God says, I will tend to the consequences you fear if your choice is made in truth and love. Miracles do not arrive wrapped in comfort. Sometimes they come dressed as hard choices. Listen to this now. Someone fought for you in silence. They were mocked. They were judged, but they stayed. That is devotion. That is a soul willing to be misunderstood for your sake. Archangel Michael says, such devotion is a weapon against darkness. It can dismantle curses that generations carried. You will feel storms. You will be pressured, leave, normalize, play safe. But the storm is a filter. Heaven uses pressure to refine, to show which love is shallow and which one is forged by truth. If the love survives the storm without selfish compromises, it is being tempered into something eternal. This person did not fall for your appearance or convenience. They fell for your wounds, your silence, the places you hid, the scars you thought were ugly. They loved the part of you that others overlooked. That is not casual affection. That is sacrificial love. Do not mistake age difference for imbalance. If the love brings growth, respect, and mutual protection, age is merely a number. But Michael warns, guard your boundaries. Love built on power or illusion will break you. True love uplifts, never diminishes. If you find compassion, respect, laughter, and a steady hand, those are signs of a heart aligned with God's design. There will be people who do not understand. They will speak loudly to hide their fear. Let them speak. The heavens will answer in quieter ways through blessings, change circumstances, an inner peace that silences the noise. God says, time will show truth. Stay faithful to the soul's recognition. If you are afraid to love because of consequences, listen closely. Heaven will not send you into harm. He protects those who move with integrity. If your choices are honest, transparent, and rooted in respect, God will cover the risks and bring justice where injustice tries to thrive. There is a spiritual reason some hearts cross boundaries that seem strange. Sometimes God sends a teacher, sometimes a mirror, sometimes a rescuer. This person may be your mirror, reflecting what you never allowed yourself to be. They may be your rescuer, drawing you out of a life of smallness into brightness. Michael says, observe what your soul grows into when you are with them. You may hold doubts. That is healthy. Doubt sharpened by prayer becomes discernment. Do not confuse doubt with condemnation. Take your doubts to God. Ask for signs, for calm, for confirmation. God responds in ways the soul recognizes. Repeated numbers, doors opening, people returning, inner peace in the chaos. Watch what returns to you when you accept this love and truth. Doors will begin to open. People who walked away will circle back. Opportunities that were blocked will arrive. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. Michael whispers, when two souls that God marked unite, the universe rearranges itself around them. But be careful. Not every passionate pull is divine. Some attractions are temporary remedies for loneliness. Some are flames that burn quickly and leave ruins. Discernment matters. Ask, does this love bring fruit in character, kindness, and spiritual growth? If yes, nurture it. If no, protect your heart. Forgiveness will be needed. Maybe the world will hurt you for loving. Maybe this person will make mistakes. But forgiveness does not mean condoning harm. It means refusing bitterness. Michael says, forgive swiftly when the soul is sincere. Correct firmly when the heart is broken. There are practical steps to protect both your heart and your destiny. Be transparent with motives. Talk openly about the future. Set boundaries that honor both souls. Seek wise counsel from those who love you and pray with you, not to control you, but to hold space for wisdom. God honors prudence when it comes from a place of love, not fear. You may ask, will this love last? Only God knows the full path, but He reveals the signs. If the love is patient, kind, humble, and builds rather than tears down, it has heaven's fingerprints. If it leads to mutual edification, peace, and truth, hold it, steward it, and work for it. If you are the one who was loved, honor the courage it took. Don't use their devotion as a game. Respect the soul who crossed lines for you. Michael says, treat such devotion like a temple with care, with gratitude, with honesty. If you are the one who loves across age or odds, ask heaven for strength. Do not force, manipulate, or rush. Let your love be patient. Let your actions match your words. Sincere love asks for blessing, not stealth. It seeks approval where it matters and protection where needed. Heaven is not blind to shame or judgment. God sees your heart's cry and He answers. Be brave, be kind, be true. You will not be made perfect overnight, but you will be made whole as you walk in integrity and faith. Do not forget to pray together. A shared altar of prayer binds two souls more than every argument. Pray for humility, for clarity, for protection, for blessing. Ask Michael to stand beside you. Ask God to write your name together in the book of light. If this is right, sometimes the timing is wrong. Even when the love is real, God may ask you to wait, to grow, to mature. Waiting is not denial, it is refinement. If the love is true, it will be patient enough to grow into the right season. If it cannot wait, perhaps it was never meant to carry a lifetime. Remember, your worth does not hinge on others' acceptance. God's acceptance is the only approval that truly matters. If you align your choices with what God whispers, you will find peace even when the crowd condemns. There will be tests ahead, not because God wants to punish, but because truth must prove itself. The enemy will try to use every weakness to sow fear. Michael will cut the cords of deception as you choose courage over retreat. You may fear loss of family, of respect, of security. God says, I will not let you lose what belongs to my plan. Sometimes loss is a pruning for a greater harvest. Trust the pruning. Trust the orchard that follows. If children, legacy, or societal realities press hard, plan wisely. Love without wisdom can fracture families. Love with wisdom can heal them. Make choices that honor both hearts and responsibilities, not to please people, but to steward the life God is building. Know this deeply. A love that is rooted in God becomes a ministry. It will touch others, heal wounds, and model a new way. Some of the greatest testimonies begin in places the world would not approve until they witness the fruit. You are not alone in this. Angels surround both of you. Michael stands to protect, to guide, to warn when pride or deception tries to enter. Call on him. He will stand firm at your borders. If your heart says yes, move forward with prayerful courage. If your heart says no, honor that with gentle closure. Either path taken with honesty and prayer leads to peace. Heaven promises, when love is genuine and chosen in truth, God blesses beyond measure. Doors open, chains fall, peace settles where chaos once reigned. Miracles arrive in ways you see